Hey everyone, Kara with the Barn Church and Ministries here in Berrien Springs, Michigan, bringing you this week's episode of Reload. And if you find it beneficial or if you know somebody that needs to hear it, please make sure to share it. So today I want to talk about being offended. We live in this completely offendable world and it's like crazy. People get upset when people say things they don't like, or they do things not the way that they would do them, or they like a different color, or they have different beliefs. It's a bit much, honestly. Personally, I think it kind of started with like political correctness. Everyone's afraid to say something because they don't want to offend somebody else. But now it's gotten to the point where if your beliefs are different, then you're wrong or you're bad. We have to develop some thick skin, guys. We just really do. We simply cannot allow our feelings to be hurt all the time and be so easily offended. It's eating our lunch. So here's my theory or theories. When we are easily offended, so number one, we need to spend more time with the Lord. Jesus had every right to be offended, yet he said to forgive them. He didn't allow his heart to be overtaken with offense. When we spend enough time with Jesus, things that offend us are lessened because we're more filled with his love. It's very simple, but it's also very true. Number two, when our feelings are easily hurt, it shows we need to spend more time with the Father because it's a sign that we get our value from other people and not just him. People are always going to let us down. People are always going to say things in the way that maybe they shouldn't say them. And later on, they realize, oh, I should have said that differently. Or they may not realize it, or we'll say something that, somebody else wouldn't say. But here's the thing. We need to be thick-skinned, but soft-hearted. A soft heart cares for those who are hurting and tries to help them, but does not allow them to play the victim. Thick-skinned means we can let things roll off and not assume everyone is doing something out of deviance. Sometimes people do things because they don't know what else to do. And sometimes people do things until they realize there's a better way. Sometimes we just don't know what we don't know. And when we spend enough time with Jesus and get our worth and value from him, hurt feelings really don't come all that often because we're not getting our worth and value from other people and what they think about us. It's so much harder to acquire hurt feelings. Things roll off easier when we understand we're worthy no matter what or how people treat us. I have another theory. I think being easily offended and hurt can stem from sometimes different perspectives. See, there's something called a fivefold ministry, and it should be the foundation of the church because that's what it says in the Bible in Ephesians. Go read it. But it goes so much further than that. Each office has a different perspective and will reach people in a different way. And guess what? They're all correct perspectives and they're all necessary perspectives. So what does that mean? It means that if somebody doesn't say something the way that you should or says something you wouldn't, it probably stems from a different perspective. For example, an evangelist is going to say things that are probably more risque than a pastor would say because their heart is to reach the lost no matter what. And the pastor's heart is to care for the people. So it's two different perspectives saying two different things, but they're both right. People forget to take a look at the other person's perspective and understand where they're coming from because they haven't been taught to. Instead, they respond immediately in their flesh instead of going, wonder why they said that. Let me see. How are they different than me? Ecclesiastes 7:21-22, pulling the Old Testament out for you today, says, do not take to heart all the things that people say, lest you hear your servant cursing you. Your heart knows that many times you've cursed yourself. Your heart knows that many times you yourself have cursed others. Hey guys, we've all talked about people. We've all slandered people. We've all gossiped about people. Do not take to heart all the things that people say, right? We have to let some things just roll off and realize they're in a different spot than we are right now. And it's okay. God will bring them through it. God will convict their heart. God will fix it. God can take care of it way better than any of us can. Are there mean people out there? Yes, there are mean people out there, but most people aren't genuinely mean. Most people just don't know what they don't know. It's like before we knew Jesus, we didn't know what we were missing. Now we know Jesus. Wow, we're like, oh my gosh, look what I was missing before I knew Jesus. You didn't know what you didn't know. They don't know what they don't know. They don't always even understand how their reaction is being taken or really how it's being given. We don't always hear our own tone of voice. So we have to give grace, not be easily offended, not have easily hurt feelings, Proverbs 19:11 says, good sense makes one slow to anger, and it is his glory to overlook an offense. So overlook the offenses, guys. Develop thick skin. Let things roll off. Understand different perspectives and have peace, because all the other stuff isn't worth it. Peace is worth it. So you can find us on social media, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram at The Barn Ministries, or our website at thebarn.church, and we will see you next week. Blessings to you.